G'day everyone, it's Luke here. How's it going, Shady?
Hi Luke, how you going?
I'm good. Welcome to everyone to this week's weekly podcast. Pretty big week, as you all know, for the club. With our first event post-COVID, not post-COVID. During COVID is what I'm looking for. During COVID, our first COVID event. And yeah, a pretty good event. Unfortunately, not as the game wasn't as good as the event. But yeah, would you agree with that, Shady?
Oh, the game was. I don't know, where do we start on that one? It was epitomized what's happening with the team at home. The past few games was not good. But the event, Luke. I mean, tell us more about the event, and then maybe we can have a rant about the game.
Yeah. So while I've still got a smile on my face, I'll go into the event. The event was amazing. In short, if I had to describe it in one word, we all got our new shirts. So I'm pretty happy to get this. It's a nice design. I really like the design. There's two designs, and then white and black colors. So there were lots of Milan fans rocking this around Melbourne that night and in the following days, I'm sure. We got a really good crowd. And it was just really, really nice to see all the faces we haven't seen for a long time. You and I, Shady, have spoken to a few on the podcast. So who have we spoken to? Alex and Steph, these kinds of guys. So I got to see them in person. Yeah, we got to see them. Everyone was talking about what they thought about the team, and got to see a few new faces as well, which was really good as well. So yeah, it kind of just reminded us all about why this club exists, to be honest. Because literally the first thing everyone said as they walked in was just how desperate they were to watch some football again with some mates. So it was a pretty special event for us all.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it was really well organized, and the fact that we were able to do this, like you were saying, just like for everyone to get together, that's amazing. I feel a little bit jealous I wasn't able to be there, but I will be there for the Genoa event. Hopefully, I will definitely be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, you were definitely missed. People were asking where you were, Shady. As we know, you're a bit of a renowned person now after the success or your success of being a bit of a Milan pundit of late. So people were asking where you were, definitely.
Cheers, man. I think it's a team effort. And I think if we've got an up and coming star, I think Pat was the star. I mean, the few times he's come on, he's been,
Absolutely.
He was our biggest hit. So yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyways, it's a team effort always.
Yeah.
So how bad was the game? I mean, sorry, did I interrupt you there?
The one thing I forgot to mention was the raffle as well. The Zlatan shirt was raffled off, and the other prizes, and yeah, there was definitely it was the talk of the night, definitely, who was going to get the Zlatan shirt.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
But yeah, the game. It was, as I said, it wasn't as good as the event, to put it simply. Disappointing. It's particularly disappointing when it's a team that was playing with 10 men for a lot of it. Disappointing.
I agree. I think playing with 10 men and as well very beatable. I mean, they weren't. It's not like you were playing against a team that you were like, oh man, these guys are like really tough. You know, I mean, it's going to be tough to break these guys down. For almost like 3/4 of the game, it seemed that we weren't really there. It wasn't until maybe the last 15 minutes or so where we started to actually pull the trigger. And it was just like, especially, I mean, first off, we were pretty much non-existent, and Gigi did really well to keep us in the game. Second off, we had a lot more of the ball, but it was just like we were hovering around the area and just passing the ball around, and just nobody wanted to take a shot. Nobody was like doing anything decisive. You could sense the tiredness really you could sense the post-international break blues kicking in. What we talked about with Ibroing, I mean, as great a player as he is, but obviously, I mean, he was going to be a bit exhausted after playing twice for Sweden. And you could tell with all the players, it wasn't just him, to be fair, it was everyone. And even the ones who hadn't been who hadn't really been playing international football, Theo, Castelleo, I mean, it was just very frustrating to see.
Yeah.
And again, it's this really bad unwanted streak we were talking about. I think in FIFA, maybe 2-3 years ago, they had that. Remember when how the management has these like objectives for the season, and one of them would have been Fortress San Siro, where you have to win like 75% of your games. We're miserable. We probably would have gotten the sack if we were doing that now. Probably, purely would have gotten the sack if it was like FIFA. But it's just frustrating. You can't be throwing away all these points, and now it's 8 points. Inter got 8 points with the game in hand. It's they will bottle a couple of games, but you don't see them throwing away too many, and you don't see us winning all our home games. So
I agree, and particularly considering what's lurking underneath us. I mean, we've got a pretty hungry and pretty determined Napoli team sitting in 5th place on 56 points, so only 4 points behind us. And I think they've won 5 of the last 6, and the 6th was a draw. So they're charging towards us. Then Juve and Atalanta sitting pretty close as well in 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
So, I completely agree with what you're saying. And how long did it take us to even register a shot on target? I mean, that's the real disappointment. And I mean, we were missing that real threat up forward completely for for most of the game, probably until the last, as you said, 5 or 10. I don't know if I can pick a certain few players. If I had to pick players that played well, probably Giorgio, Tomori, they were good.
Tomori was solid.
Yeah, I thought Tomori was good. Any others that you thought were particularly good in a pretty disappointing match?
In an otherwise really bad game, I thought Haugo did well. He tried.
Yeah.
It baffled me that you start Krunic on the wing when you can start Haugo. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's not even Krunic's natural position. And he's young. He's still not the finished article, but he's definitely shown a lot of potential every time. I'm not saying this because he scored the goal, by the way, but every time he comes on, he seems to do something, or he's trying at least. In more ways than one, he has a point to prove. So I'm not sure why he wouldn't get the nod on that left wing to start off with. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think Tonali did well. I've always been a bit biased to Tonali since the start of the season, but I think he's really trying, and I think he needs more to start more games. Benasser still isn't 100%. When he is, probably it would be him and Kessie. But with Benasser still recovering, I wonder if it would have been wiser to start off the other way around with Tonali on and then bring Benasser.
I agree. I think Tonali actually did have not a great game, but a good match.
But a good game. He moved the ball well. He moved the ball well, and that's what you want. You want that fluid movement. You want that fluid passing. He read a lot of the balls. I mean, he closed down the midfield quite well. He read a lot of plays really well. So I thought he was doing really well. I'm not sure. Again, it's always easy to be like an armchair pundit and just from a screen behind the screen say bash a player, but I just don't get what it is with Samu Castelleo. I mean, I don't understand why he's starting games. I don't understand. I mean, I'm baffled, and I understand we don't have that many options, but I still think. I mean, Salamakers would have been better just staying on, even if he had the booking. I don't know. It's just, I don't. Again, I don't want to be like picking on one player, but he doesn't for me, he's not like up to like he's a squad player at best. He shouldn't be starting that many games, in my personal opinion. But generally speaking, the team as a whole looked tired on the day, so it's not just his fault, but definitely. But yeah, I'm not sure what value he adds to this squad. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the other one that comes to mind that disappointed us all, I think, was, and he did do that great run. I don't know when it was, but that run where he passed about 6 players was Theo. And I mean, yeah, that should never have happened. And when you put a ball at the feet of a player like that, Guardiola, that's what happens, I guess.
Yeah, it was just that lapse of concentration, and he has that sometimes. When it comes to his defending, especially, I agree with you. You know, when he's going forward, second to none. But when sometimes he has those lapses of concentration in defense. In his defense, no pun intended, he has improved this. I mean, towards his defending this season has improved from last season, but still he has those. Lapses. And if the team was on any other day, if the team was like actually attacking, we probably would have scored a lot more than once. It wouldn't have made that big a difference. But because we were so lackluster going forward, ultimately it was this mistake that cost us 2 points.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So another game to write off, I guess. But I mean, we can't, like you're saying, we've got this chasing pack, and we can't really afford much more of those. We really need to get on this like winning streak, both home and away.
Yeah, completely. And also good to see Kalulu get minutes is the one I wanted to mention as
definitely.
Well.
Definitely.
Because I think he's one of those players that, as you say, the Kruniches, the Castillejeros, we know where their limit is, whereas the Kalulus and, players like that, Hargos, we don't know where their limit is, and we want to find that out.
So exactly.
Tomorrow, play them, and let's see what they can do.
Exactly. Gabia, those kind of players. Yeah, Kalulu made some really good runs. His last touch, so as a right back, obviously the thing you want to work on the most, I guess, is the crossing. So that left a bit to be desired. But having said that, he made some really good runs. His movement was really good, and he doesn't get much playing time. And when he does, he usually plays at centre back, out of position. So, yeah, given all of that, he put in a decent shift.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can look into the future now and look to the Parma match.
Yeah, well, it's away from home, so that's a good start.
Yeah,
given our current form. Yeah, hopefully the players, having had about a week of rest, like playing from one weekend to another, hopefully will show up and hopefully put it to bed.
Yeah, and let's not forget, I know Parma was a pretty good side last year, but this is a team that's 19th, so second bottom. 3 wins for the whole season, 11 draws, 1 win in the last 10. So not a team that's, bursting with luck, or not luck, with confidence.
No.
So it needs to be that game where we do put it to bed, and let's see them do it early. Let's not wait till the last 5-10 minutes to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I hope we actually show up in the first half. Exactly. We can't be relying on like a penalty in the last minute, or like you're saying, or like that goal from Hago. We need to actually grab this one by the horns. We've had some good wins at the Tardini over the years. There was the Pirlo goal in 2011 when we won Scudetto. There was the Menez back heel for the 5-4. We had some interesting games there. Yeah, so I think I'm optimistic, quietly optimistic. I'm not as optimistic as last week when I predicted a 3-0 win. But generally speaking, I think we'll get a 2-1 win or something, I think.
Yeah. 2-1 win. I think they will score, because I think they've scored in their last 7 or 8 games. So, I mean, actually, you know what? Let's say I'll change that. Let's say that we'll break that streak. And a nice 2-0 win, I'll say.
Oh, that would be sweet. Yeah,
I think Zlatan should score, and Oh, I'd love a Tonali goal. Play him from the start and let's see him score.
All right, that would be good. I think Ibra's going to score one, and either Rebic if he gets on, or Çalhanoğlu. I think either or.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that happened during the week that I don't think we've ever really mentioned about this team, maybe once or twice, but not often, was that the women's team came up against Inter for the derby and won 4-1.
Oh yeah, and the captain, she scored the 4 goals, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, some good news from the week.
Some good news, yeah, definitely. Some good news, definitely.
Yeah.
And what are we thinking about? What are you thinking about the news about Ibra's renewal?
Yeah, I think another year is good, which we've discussed in the past. 7 million euros. Yeah, what do you think about that?
It's a lot of money, but I guess we're paying for his off the field as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully it remains that way. Leadership.
Yep.
I think so, in that mentality.
And I assume that his shirt sales and all of that attention that he brings almost pays for that anyway.
Exactly.
To be honest,
especially for in the Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope so. Yeah, but I mean, for me, I really want us to see. I really want us to secure those renewals, like with Gigio, just get everything else sorted out. But yeah, definitely good. It will definitely be good to get Ibra staying. I've heard Mandzukic isn't going to be really his loan isn't going to be renewed.
Yeah.
For next season, that's what I've been hearing. So that would. I guess what would take us to what we were talking about last week with potentially Belotti coming in.
Yeah. We did speak about that. And I guess the other one was the Tomori loan. Chelsea asking for something like 25, 26 million. Whether we want to sign him. Apparently the club's pretty interested, as you would guess. So yeah, I think he's been pretty good.
He's been solid. I'd get him. Yeah. I'd definitely, if we secure Champions League qualification, I would pay out that money. And especially with all the uncertainty around Romagnoli, what we've talked about with the injuries to Kier, I would definitely get him in.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Yeah. Sorry, no, you go. No, you go. I'll ask you after.
I was just going to say, the only thing that might question that is we have been so good at picking solid centre backs of late. I don't know whether they can do that again. But yeah, if he is a proven player so far. So yeah, what were you going to say?
Yeah, no. Well, I just think it's just to add to that, I think if it ain't broken, don't fix it. This guy has got a lot of potential. He's slotted in very well. Yeah. He's adapting to the culture, to the tactics, to everything. You don't need to start new with someone else. I mean, get this guy in. Get Gabbia playing a bit more as well, and then we've got some really solid options. We've also got Kalulu, who can play as centre back, and he's done really well. So yeah, now that means we've got a really good base at the back, and if we've got Gigio and goal, perfect.
Yeah.
I was just gonna play devil's advocate with because Dybala was making. We were just talking about Ibra now making 7 million euros. Dybala is on 7.5 million euros with Juve. His contract expires in next year.
Yep.
And Juventus had originally offered him a 10 million a year contract, but they withdrew that offer because I think they fined him and a couple of other players. He went to a party, he breached COVID rules a few days ago. Sorry. And they've withdrawn that. They've retracted that offer basically. So potentially he is a player they might look to get rid of. Long story short, would you buy Dybala? Would you get Dybala?
I love Dybala. I've always really liked him. I don't know how he would actually go up front by himself at Milan. Whether you use him in tandem with Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, he wouldn't play him on his own.
Yeah, no. He'd be a fantastic player. Him or Belotti. I think Dybala's got more quality to him and I would probably pick Dybala.
Me too. I think Dybala would give us a different dimension to our play.
Yeah,
definitely. I've been a big fan of his since his Palermo days. I think there was this one time he did. I don't remember the match, but he kind of stopped the ball in the area with his he backheeled it. I don't know. He did something crazy with his backheel, and then stopped the ball, then just slotted it in the net. And I think at the time I was like, this guy, we need to get this guy at Milan. And
hey, when was the last serious superstar like a Dybala that came to the club?
Well, do you mean Ibra?
Well, yeah, but a superstar maybe
in much.
Prime. Yeah, I guess even Ibra, you could say that. But
Ibra's even bigger, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But a superstar in their prime that came to Milan?
Yeah. I mean, you could make an argument, maybe Bonucci, but yeah.
Ronaldinho, but he was starting to. Would you say Ronaldinho?
Yeah. I think it's been a long while.
Beckham, but Beckham was well after his prime, and it was only for those loan deals. But he was if we're talking about are you talking about in terms of ability, sporting abilities? Definitely, for me, Kaká, but he wasn't a superstar at the time. He was
yeah.
And it's a tough one. Rui Costa, I guess.
Yeah.
Rui Costa from Fiorentina, because he was really good back then when it was
him
and Batistuta. Yeah, and he's still our record signing to this day,
Really? How much was that for?
Not that much. Surprisingly, not that much. Off the top of my head, no, I'm not sure. 40 something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Was it with something? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I should know this number. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, they didn't pass that in the crazy 200 and whatever million year.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
For all his fondness with superstar Silvio, he wouldn't spend big in terms of transfer fees. He'd always Galliani was always was a smooth operator. He'd always get them on the cheap or on loan or something like that.
Yeah, and maybe Maldini's inherited a little bit of that as well.
It looks like it. Like it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Shady, I think that kind of brings us to an end.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been great chatting as always.
As always good to talk, mate. Yeah, look forward to hopefully talking after a win this time against Parma and ahead of our Genoa event.
Yep. And I guess on that Genoa event, 18th of April, 8:30. Can you believe? That's Melbourne time, 8:30. We couldn't believe it. We were thinking that there was some weird phone/time zone error that would get it completely wrong, but it's 8:30 somehow. So it's going to be another amazing event pretty soon.
Look forward to it.
All right. Well, as always, Forza Milan, and we'll talk soon.
Forza Milan. Cheers, man.